From the campus of the University of Alabama, live, local news. From Alabama's home team, this is WVUA News at 10.
First tonight on the News at 10, a fire in South Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa firefighters responded to a large fire just before 9 tonight. A passerby called the fire in to officials. One fire unit responded and called in an additional 8 units to help with the blaze. Now, the fire happened at the former Newton Lumber Yard on Bear Creek Cutoff Road. Firefighters were able to contain the fire in about 15 minutes. The scene is now being checked out by arson investigators. Officials will continue to watch the area for any flare-ups. And thanks for joining us. I'm Tamika Alexander. We begin tonight with Tuscaloosa city leaders looking at new options to help keep the regional airport's control tower open. WVUA's Travis Leader joins us with all the details. Travis, what's the latest?
Thanks, Tamika. The City Council Administration Committee is allowing the City Department of Transportation, or TDOT, to extend their FAA contract beyond the May 5th closure. But the FAA will only allow a 1-month contract extension, and the city will have to reimburse the FAA for the $43,000 cost. Now, one option the city is considering is controlling the tower itself, but this can mean major changes to airport operations. The city may hire approximately 5 air traffic controllers as employees and take over the entire cost to operate, but that could cost the city hundreds of thousands of dollars, which they may offset with added service fees.
Financially, what we're going to do is look at different options on charging some fees at the airport that we haven't done in the past that some other airports do, hopefully to offset the cost of keeping the tower open.
We will find a way to do it, but we sure hope that the federal government rethinks this and would put this tower back in operation on a federal basis.
Now, some of those fees would be on fuel flowage, landing, or airport leases. Now, without an operational tower, military planes would no longer use the airport for services, which accounts for about 20% of their landings. Tamika.
Thanks, Travis. The Tuscaloosa City Council is unanimously approving a zoning change which will help bring a major development to the downtown riverfront area. Developers have proposed a $42 million commercial and residential project for the corner of Greensboro Avenue and Jack Warner Parkway. This was formerly the site of Tuscaloosa Chevrolet. An earlier proposal for this property was denied by the City Council because they desired a property with more retail development. Tuscaloosa City Councilman Lee Garrison says sometimes patience is a virtue when it involves prime pieces of real estate. And the property's residences will house hundreds of people. According to Garrison, the project is set for completion in summer of 2014. Well, the city of Tuscaloosa will soon hand over the Embassy Suites Hotel property to its developers. According to Mayor Walt Maddox, the city plans on closing on the property April 19th. The city is still hashing out minor details in the finalized agreement, which needs to account for increased construction costs. Maddox says part of the reason construction costs are going up is because of increased demand during the city's tornado rebuilding process.
He is certainly a part of economic development.
And having a stronger economy helps boost morale among citizens.
Now, city leaders are also looking forward to hearing more about the University of Alabama's archaeological study at the hotel property. Some say it is one of the most historically significant blocks in the city of Tuscaloosa. Well, the city of Tuscaloosa is encouraging volunteers to help clean up Lake Tuscaloosa. Saturday from 8 until noon, volunteers are encouraged to go to Binion Creek Landing off of Highway 43 in North Tuscaloosa County. In previous years, people have cleaned up tens of thousands of pounds of trash from the lake. According to City of Tuscaloosa's Communication Director, Deidre Stallnaker, the outreach for this event is always positive, and this weekend's nice forecast may help with a better turnout.
Well, it's always nice to be out on the lake on a pretty day, and we haven't had very many pretty days here in Tuscaloosa this year. So we think that that'll help with turnout, and it'll just make for a more enjoyable experience.
Now, Stallnaker says Lake Tuscaloosa needs to stay clean because it provides the city's drinking water supply. The City of Tuscaloosa residents have their chance to make their voices and opinions heard. The City of Tuscaloosa is holding community conversations, a come-and-go event where Mayor Walt Maddox, council members, and representatives from all city departments will be present. Community members can apply for jobs, find out about new voting districts, receive information about elections and how to register to vote, and learn about what city projects are planned. Community conversations will be held Thursday, April 18th from 4:30 to 6:30 at Central High School. Well, as people across Alabama and the country are getting ready to say their final goodbyes to Crimson Tide legend, those who knew former UA Athletics Director Mal Moore are talking about the kind of person he was. Alabama head football coach Nick Saban has called Moore a special person. Even though Moore's name is connected to many championships, Saban says he will remember Moore for the man that he was. Final preparations are underway for the celebration of life in honor of UA Athletics Director Mal Moore. There will be a memorial service honoring Coach Mal Moore Thursday at 3 p.m. in Coleman Coliseum. Now, in lieu of flowers, gifts, or letters, the Moore family is asking people to consider a donation to the Crimson Tide Foundation or the Mal and Charlotte Moore Caring Days Center. On your Health Watch, the health of women in Alabama is at risk. That's according to a new study. Alabama women are more likely to be obese and diabetic, ranking 49th in obesity and high blood pressure and 48th when it comes to diabetes. WVUA's Lauren Wood shows us what actions you can take to live a healthier lifestyle.
Apples, bananas, and pears. Food you see every day in your local grocery store. But are you picking it up or passing it by? Dr. Milady Murphy says choosing healthier foods is key for a healthier lifestyle.
We just have to learn how to make healthier food choices rather than starve ourselves or go on extreme diets.
I'm like one of those people who gets frustrated by dieting. Like if it doesn't work quickly, like I just like, okay, forget it. Like because I like things to go quickly, I usually don't go on the extreme diets where you have to eat all of this certain type of foods.
Aspen Stow is a college student and says there's just something special about down south cooking.
Kind of a scary thought that, you know, Alabama is really obese, but I think it's the southern food.
Murphy says you can still enjoy the foods you love, just prepared in a different way.
Instead of fried foods of what they normally eat, choose those foods that are baked, broiled, and grilled. That will cut the calories anywhere between 35 to 50% in helping people manage their weight.
And remember to get active.
Walking is the simplest thing that we can do in burning calories. Just get up and move.
Hopefully this move will get us to a better state. Reporting in Tuscaloosa County, Lauren Woods, WVUA News.
Murphy also says making these changes in your life will give you more energy, stamina, and it helps you be in a better mood. Well, Jerry Lewis Swindle is facing a second set of sexual abuse charges in just over a month. Authorities say Swindle was first arrested in February for 3 counts of sexual abuse first degree. Shortly after his arrest for the first set of charges, police say a new victim came forward saying she was sexually abused by Swindle nearly 30 years ago when she was 15. According to Tuscaloosa Police Sergeant Michael Chason, Swindle turned himself into authorities on Thursday after the grand jury indicted him on 2 more counts of sexual abuse for the second victim. Chason says it's common to see additional victims come forward after an arrest is made, but he says making arrests on cases that happened many years ago can be difficult. Well, we had a couple of nice days this week, but how long will it last? WVUA's Daniel Sparkman joins us now for a first check on Alabama's home team forecast. Another nice day out there today, Daniel.
Yeah, it really was, Tamika. Another beautiful day out there. We're starting to see some clouds roll in into the evening hours. 56 right now in Tuscaloosa, 51 up in Birmingham, 66 down on the Gulf Coast. Across the 2-state satellite radar, you can see over the last 6 hours or so, we've seen some clouds move in. We're starting to see some rain showers over parts of Mississippi. We do expect more rain showers to move in during the day tomorrow. 52 by 9 a.m. The upper 50s by noontime should top out into the low 60s. I'll have that full 7-day forecast and when we might see temperatures around 80 coming up in just a few minutes. Tamika.
Thanks, Daniel. Now WVUA brings you news from around the state of Alabama. New data shows seatbelts may contribute to many deaths caused by car accidents. Alabama Department of Transportation officials say 59% of people who died in traffic accidents in 2012 were not wearing seatbelts. Officials say 424 traffic fatality victims were in vehicles where seatbelts were available and 251 were not wearing them at the time of the crash. Officials say a total of 513 people died in crashes investigated by state troopers in 2012. State law requires front seat passengers and children between 6 and 15 to wear seatbelts. Alabama Secretary of State Beth Chapman says she won't seek any position in next year's election and will take a sabbatical from elective office. Chapman has served 2 terms in her current office and could not seek a 3rd term. She had been mentioned as a contender for higher office, including governor, but Chapman says she wants to take a break to pursue business opportunities. She says she will support Republican Governor Robert Bentley for re-election. When WVUA News at 10 returns, North Korea plans to restart a nuclear facility against an agreement it made in 2007. And a group of experts backed by the National Rifle Association have unveiled a sweeping set of proposed school safety measures. We will have the details. And the Crimson Tide baseball team did something tonight that they have not done since 2010. Gary Harris will explain later in Alabama's Home Team Sports. And before we go to break, don't forget to follow your home team on Twitter. Follow us for sneak peeks on upcoming shows and projects here at WVUA.